May 10, 1940, 5:35 in the morning. Near the Meuse River, outside the small town of Sedan, northeastern France. The air is cold enough to sting the lungs. Mist clings to the river like a living thing, thick and low. French sentries stamp their boots on the concrete floor of a bunker, trying to stay awake. Somewhere in the distance, an engine coughs. Then another. Not trucks, aircraft. You can almost feel it before you hear it. A pressure in the chest, a sense that the quiet is wrong. Captain Pierre Lemaire checks his watch again. The Maginot Line is behind him, stretching for miles. Steel, concrete, artillery buried deep underground. The most expensive defensive system ever built. It is supposed to make this moment impossible. Then the sky breaks open. German Stuka dive bombers come screaming down through the mist. Their sirens howl like something alive. Explosions walk across the French positions, one after another, methodical and precise. Bunkers shudder. Telephones go dead. Inside the concrete walls, men freeze. Not from fear alone, from disbelief. This is not how the war was supposed to begin here. For years, French doctrine has been built around one assumption. Germany will attack head-on. Germany will smash itself against the wall. And France will hold. But the bombs are not falling on the wall. They are falling beside it. By 6:15, smoke rises from the forested hills of the Ardennes, an area the French High Command has labeled impassable for tanks, an area defended by reserve divisions. Older men, fewer anti-tank guns, thin lines. General Charles Hunziker, commander of the Second Army, receives his first reports. German units sighted in force, panzer divisions, moving fast, too fast. By mid-morning, German engineers reach the Meuse. French artillery opens fire, shells splashing water into the air. For a moment, it seems to work. Bridges collapse, boats are shredded, but the Germans do not stop. They cross anyway. Rubber boats, assault rafts, men paddling under machine gun fire, some falling into the river and disappearing without a sound. On the French side, confusion spreads faster than orders. Units cannot see each other. Smoke blocks the view. Communications are broken. Captain Lemaire tries to reach battalion headquarters. The phone is dead. The radio crackles, then goes silent. He steps outside the bunker. The world has changed. French infantry are running uphill, away from the river, some without helmets, some without rifles. Not retreating, fleeing. By early afternoon, German infantry secure footholds on the western bank. Then the panzers arrive. They were not supposed to get through here. Every war game said so. Every map said so. But maps do not fight wars. Men do, and men are breaking. At 5 in the evening, French counterattacks are ordered. Colonel Lafontaine gathers what armor he can. A handful of tanks. Poor coordination. No air cover. They move forward anyway. German anti-tank guns wait in silence. The French tanks roll into a killing zone. One explodes, then another. Black smoke climbs into the sky. Within minutes, the counterattack is over. Night falls on a battlefield already lost, though no one wants to say it out loud. French officers still believe the line can be restored by morning, that this is a local breach. They are wrong. During the night, German engineers build bridges under cover of darkness. Panzer units line up quietly on the eastern bank, engines off. Crews sleep beside their vehicles, boots on. At dawn, they move. The sound is unmistakable, a low, growing thunder. By mid-morning on the second day, German armor pours through the gap, not probing, not testing, exploiting. French divisions begin to collapse inward, like a door kicked off its hinges. Orders contradict each other. Advance, hold, withdraw. Which one do you obey when all come at once? Captain Lemaire receives a runner just before noon. The message is short. Fall back immediately. He looks at the bunker again. Years of construction, millions of francs, all of it irrelevant now. By evening, German columns are moving west, untouched. The defensive line has been bypassed, not broken, rendered useless by speed and surprise. But the full truth has not yet reached Paris. Not yet, because what has happened here is only the beginning. And within 72 hours, an entire front will cease to exist. The shock that spread faster than orders. May 11th, 1940, just after sunrise west of Sedan. The road is already jammed, horse-drawn wagons, civilian cars packed with mattresses and children, French soldiers moving in the opposite direction, faces gray with exhaustion. You can almost feel the panic in the air. It moves faster than any vehicle. German Panzer Division commanders do not slow down. General Heinz Guderian stands near a map spread across the hood of a staff car. He listens. Then he nods once. Push forward. No pauses. No waiting for infantry to catch up. This is the moment German doctrine was built for. Radio orders crackle across the columns. Advance west. Bypass resistance. Do not stop to secure flanks. Speed is the weapon now. Behind them, French headquarters struggles to understand what is happening. Reports arrive late. Contradictory. Some say the crossing has failed. Others say tanks are already deep behind the line. General Maurice Gamelin, Commander-in-Chief of French forces, sits in Paris with outdated maps. The German thrust does not fit the model. It does not follow the expected axis. So the response is slow, painfully slow. Frontline commanders wait for approval that never comes. By the time orders are issued, the situation has already changed. Near the town of Bolson, French artillery units prepare to fire. They hear engines approaching through the morning haze. At first, they assume it is their own armor. Then the silhouettes emerge, low, wide, fast. German tanks crest the ridge. The French gunners barely have time to swing their barrels. Machine gun fire rips through the positions. Men scatter. Some run, some freeze. The guns are abandoned intact. By noon, German armor has broken through again. Another gap, wider than the last. French reserve units are rushed forward, but they arrive piecemeal, without coordination, without air cover. German aircraft dominate the sky. Stukas circle like hunters, diving one by one. Each scream from the sky shatters morale a little more. You can almost feel what it is like to be on the ground. The helplessness, the sense that nowhere is safe. French soldiers dig shallow foxholes, only to abandon them minutes later. The enemy is never where they expect, always ahead, always moving. By afternoon, rumors begin to spread. German tanks are behind us. The road to Paris is open. We are surrounded. Most of it is not yet true, but fear does not wait for confirmation. At a crossroads near Stone, Captain Henri Dubois tries to rally his men. He stands in the open, shouting orders over the noise of engines and artillery. Some soldiers stop. Others keep moving past him, eyes down, faces blank. One man drops his rifle and keeps walking. Dubois realizes something is breaking that cannot be repaired with commands. That night, French high command finally grasps the scale of the disaster. Emergency meetings are called. Counterattacks are planned on paper, but paper does not move tanks. On the ground, German units push deeper. They seize fuel depots, telephone exchanges, bridges intact. Each capture feeds the next advance. By the morning of May 12th, the breach has become a corridor, a funnel pouring German forces straight into the French rear. Entire French divisions find themselves cut off without ever seeing the enemy. Supply trucks do not arrive. Orders do not arrive. Silence replaces structure. Some units fight, hard, bravely, but bravery without coordination bleeds out quickly. Near Montcornet, a young French officer named Charles de Gaulle launches a bold counterattack with newly formed armored units. For a moment, German columns are surprised. A few tanks burn. Then German anti-tank guns respond. Aircraft arrive. The attack stalls. De Gaulle withdraws, knowing he has proven a point too late. By evening, the reality is impossible to ignore. The defensive line is not bending, it is gone. The front has dissolved into isolated pockets of resistance. Strong points without support, orders without listeners. German commanders sense it. They push harder. Not 72 hours ago, this was a fortified front. Now it is open countryside. As night falls on the second day, French commanders face a terrifying question. If the enemy is already here, and still accelerating, where do you draw the next line? Because there may not be time to build another. 72 hours, May 12th, 1940. Late evening, somewhere between the Meuse and the Aisne. Darkness no longer brings relief. The roads glow faintly with burning vehicles and abandoned supply trucks. Fuel leaks into the dirt. Maps flutter in the wind, trampled under boots and tank tracks. German columns move even at night now. Headlights off, engines low, guided by discipline and confidence. You can almost feel the momentum building. Not just speed, certainty. For the French, the night is filled with questions. Not where to attack, but where to stand. General Hunziker issues new orders before midnight, a defensive line along the Meuse River. Units are to disengage and fall back in good order. In theory, it is a sound decision. In reality, many units never receive the message. Telephone lines are cut, runners disappear, radio sets have no batteries. By dawn on May 13th, German advance elements are already approaching the river crossings. They are not tired, they are not hesitant. They are ahead of schedule. At French headquarters, officers stare at maps that no longer match the ground. Divisions marked as holding positions have ceased to exist as formations. Regiments are scattered across miles of countryside. Some commanders still believe they are facing limited penetrations. They plan local counterattacks. But this is no longer local. At a small village crossroads, Lieutenant André Moreau gathers what remains of his platoon. 17 men, 2 light machine guns, almost no ammunition. They take positions behind a stone wall. When German armored cars appear, the engagement lasts less than 10 minutes. A burst of fire, a grenade, then silence. Moreau orders his men to withdraw. It is not defeat, it is survival. By midday, the German spearheads reach key road junctions far beyond the original breach. They capture headquarters units still unpacking equipment. Staff officers are taken prisoner without firing a shot. The speed is disorienting. French soldiers who believed they were miles behind the front now find enemy tanks rolling past them. Panic becomes contagious. Whole units begin to dissolve. Not in cowardice, in confusion. Where is the enemy? Where are our lines? Who is in command? There are no clear answers. By the afternoon of the third day, the truth can no longer be hidden from Paris. Reports confirm it. The German breakthrough is complete. The defensive line has not just failed, it has ceased to exist as a concept. At 4 in the afternoon, emergency conferences are held. Plans are drawn for a massive counterstroke, but the forces required no longer exist in the right place at the right time. German panzers have reached the Somme. They are threatening to cut off Allied armies moving north in Belgium. A trap is forming. French officers begin to understand the scale of what has been lost. Not territory, time. Every hour that passes gives the Germans more room to maneuver, more fuel, more captured supplies. By evening, retreat orders spread across the front. But retreat without structure becomes flight. Bridges clog, columns tangle, units intermingle until rank and regiment mean nothing. As night falls on May 13th, 72 hours after the first bombs fell at Sedan, the reality is undeniable. The defensive line that was meant to stop a war has collapsed. Not over months, not even weeks, in 3 days. And ahead lies something worse, an encirclement that will trap hundreds of thousands of men, an evacuation that will change history, a nation facing a decision it never believed it would have to make. The collapse is complete, but the consequences are only beginning.